apartment, and stay in California with that. And I just really think it speaks to the crazy sort of income inequality. It's certainly some kind of inequality that it speaks to, because that just doesn't seem right. You have so much going on, you're contributing so much, and you have these markers of success. And so I just think a lot of people would be surprised that you live in your van. Do you like living in your van?
It's a love-hate. It's been a little over a year now, which is incredible to me. I had the goal of 6 months, just seeing how it was, if I could do it. And now, 6 months, I was like, I can do this. There's definitely parts of it that are harder and scary, but there's so much of it that's so beautiful. And yes, just going back to something you said with the health conditions, which is also so many people besides myself have invisible illnesses, and everyone, including myself, is so quick to judge somebody and like make up these scenarios of, this fairy tale life that somebody else has besides yourself. And I know through all of that, though, how fortunate I personally am. And it does go down to the inequality in the systems and just the basic civil rights and human rights that everyone should have, So I definitely don't take for granted, though, my place in all of that and the privilege that I have through all of that. With that being said, it is very hard to keep a job, a normal job that doesn't pay very well, and that kind of like is just consuming mentally, physically, and then for everybody's harsh, quick judgments of who you are just based on how you look, it's really hard. So living in the van allows me the freedom to not have to have a job. And if I'm broke, I'm broke. And I still have a place to live. I have food. I have friends. I have a place to shower. I have a family. I'm very fortunate. But if I get extra jobs and gigs that aren't too strenuous, then I'm saving, which will be awesome. So one day, hopefully I won't have to have a job and I can live somewhere. That's the dream. But yes, it's always surprising to people and to myself too sometimes. But even as a little girl, I wanted to have like this whole van life thing. I don't know. It just looked adventurous and fun and out there in the world. And I love that you can travel around and supplement to what you would pay for rent, That's really a blessing.
I lived in a van myself for a long time, but in a different way because I was in a band, so it was totally different.
Cool.
But I remember also, being so in love with that van life. But there did come a point when I was like, I want a place that is like mine to go back. Not, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just like want to be able to have it be easy to take a shower or, whatever. So
I understand.
Yeah.
Through quarantine, I've been very fortunate to have places to stay. I've been in my van a few days now, being back in LA at the beginning. I was with some friends for 2 months, and then I traveled so I got a car too now. I have a van and a car.
That's fantastic.
I know. I like drive my car up and park and then get into my van. It's kind of funny, but they're both cheap. I own them both. It's amazing. That's one of the benefits of having a van, is being able to do that. So I traveled in my car super far and then came back. And since I've been back in LA, thankfully, I've probably only been in my van like 10 days because I've gotten to house sit quite a bit. That's what I'm doing now, which is amazing. I got lost in packing. Forgot what you said.
just about how the reality of van life is like there's a dream, and then sometimes you're like, I just want a place to shower.
Oh yes, that's what I was gonna say. And so this has all got me spoiled. Being inside of the houses, I love cooking. I love having not that you're having friends over, but you start fantasizing about being able to stand up all the way and have friends over, And yes, being able to shower and have a restroom. What's interesting about your body, I realize that whenever I am staying somewhere, I have to go to the restroom more than when I'm in my van. It's like my mind and body know that I don't have the accessibility, so it just doesn't need to go to the restroom. And then when I'm here, I got to go back and forth.
Totally.
And I'm just like, okay. So
that was one of the
funny.
hardest parts of living in a van was like, the bathroom situation. I just remember parking in the valley and in a suburban neighborhood because I felt safe there. And basically having to go behind someone's tree. I'm like, if these people catch me, they're going to be pissed, but I have no place else to go,
Oh my gosh, completely. Yes. I thankfully, when I lived in my car, that's definitely the route I was on because I was so new to town. I didn't know know anything or any secret getaways and all the places with public restrooms. But thankfully, through the van process too, I figured out the public restroom places. But yeah, if you can't make it through the night, it's just thank God for the PCH and canyons and like stay in. But you feel the safest in those neighborhoods, but you don't want to have your lights on or make any noise with your phone because you don't want anybody to know that you're there, and because you get woken up by I got woken up by the cops so many times. They're always so surprised when it's me that comes to the front seat. They're like, are you here alone? And I'm like, yes, it's just me. And they're like, okay, well, you can't stay here. I'm like, okay. It's 4 a.m. Can I please just stay asleep like 2 more hours? But
yeah, that's like such an LA thing, because a lot of other places you can park someplace, no problem. But in LA, they have all these signs up actually that are like, you can't be here after 2 a.m. and you have to move
everywhere.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like you're really brave to live in your van.
It feels safer to me. I guess flashing back, I get that from friends and stuff. But what happened in Seattle and have being watched when you're inside of a home, there's so many windows and doors and entrances. And in the van, there's one way in, one way out. It's small. If you're messing with me, I know you're there. And I can get in the driver's seat and take off. So I feel safer in the van than I do inside of somewhere, actually, which is part of that whole thing I'm trying to get past mentally. But yeah, so I like my van. I have the alarm system. I have some protection stuff.
So we're getting close to an hour. I want to be respectful of your time. But what is something that you would tell, say, 17-year-old Myriah? Do you have any advice for her?
Oh, that's when I was having my surgery. That cannabis and a healthy diet is a life save. So don't worry. Yeah, I don't know. Just that I am very much one of those that it's like, we die, we're going to die. I'm very sorry to break the news, but everyone eventually dies. And it's amazing to be alive. And I wish that I would have realized that a lot more then, because I'm not just sunshine and rainbows. I had suicidal thoughts. I had depression. I've gone through just like stuff, but just been like, you're strong. Don't worry about the bullshit. Because then I didn't have that like as much understanding of the process of life, so it's just like, enjoy it while you can, be thankful. And I feel like that's where I was, but just none of it matters. Like, just do what makes you happy, be outrageous, be rebellious, do you're a badass, stay strong, keep your head up. That guy's not going to be the one. Like, I would warn myself about everything.
I know. And so what's the best way for our listeners to connect with you? Where's the best place?
Through Instagram these days, I suppose, which is crazy. It's Myriah Rose, MYRIAHROSE_. And I have a link to my email there. If you are not on Instagram, I should figure that out, my email.
Everyone's on Instagram. And is there any particular way that they can support you?
By supporting others, supporting themselves. My whole goal and mission is hopefully to try to inspire others to live with compassion and gratitude, and to help others and help themselves. So if you want to support me, support yourself, support those around you.
Oh, that's just beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, I'm so grateful that you took this time to come on the show, and I'm just, thank you.
Thank you. I'm grateful for your time as well. I truly am.
Isn't Myriah an incredible human? All right, here are some key takeaways from our conversation. Number 1, it's beautiful to be alive. Number 2, you are strong. Number 3, don't worry about the bullshit. Number 4, enjoy life while you can. Number 5, be thankful. Number 6, do what makes you happy. Number 7, I like this one. Be outrageous. Be rebellious. Do you. You're a badass. Hello. Number 8, stay strong. Number 9, keep your head up. Number 10, that guy's not the one. I don't know if that's actually a key takeaway, but I liked it. Number 11, support others. Number 12, support yourself. And number 13, live with compassion and gratitude. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. I'm so grateful for you. I know there's a million things you could be doing with your time, and I feel so honored that you chose to spend this time with me. Thank you. You can view the show notes and the links to everything that was mentioned in this episode, including a link to Myriah's film, at my website, which is GrlPod.com. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Google Play or wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave us a review and share it with someone who might enjoy it. All right, here's that unreleased Bang Sugar Bang song that I promised you. It's from our upcoming album, Invisible City, which is our first record in 13 years, and we're releasing it on August 24th. I can't wait. This song is actually the title track, and I wrote it about the homeless situation in Los Angeles, which becomes more shocking to me every time I return to LA. It's like there's an invisible city of homeless people that everyone tries to ignore, and I really hope that we find a way to make housing more affordable and more equitable for everyone. Until next time.